Why do you have to go a very long time without holding her?
Recording me!
This is our friend Cara. She's Courtney's sister and my sister now.
Yeah.
Since we're married, Courtney and I, not I and Cara.
Yes. That would have been if they were sisters.
They were sisters.
So why do you have to go a long time without holding Ellie?
We're on our way to Tinley.
We're on our way to Tinley!
To Tinley!
To Tinley! There's like something going on up there, right?
I have no idea why we're going. I hear it's supposed to
did you
snow.
know these little tabs? I've always thought they broke off. They're magnetic on the Yeti cup.
Oh, that's cool.
The slide, look, it just comes right off and it
I did not know that. That's really cool.
I'm always wondering why it's just like that. It's a magnet.
This video is sponsored by Yeti.
We actually did not decide to go to Tinley overnight. It was a lot of planning and considering on account of this one right here. We knew we were having a baby. We knew we would have a 5 to 6 week old baby at the time that Tinley happened. So when Stephen originally brought up which shows we would go to in 2022, Tinley in spring was kind of off the table because there we would have a newborn. Our friend Troy over at Balls and Strikes, he was going and he kind of asked if we would go, if we could like help drive, and you know, Stephen brought it up again and I was like, you know what, I can watch the baby. My mom can come stay if I can't watch the baby, she can help out. So yeah, you go ahead, you go to Tinley. It's just a weekend. When you get back, you can tell me all about it. That was the plan for a little bit, maybe about a month. The plan was I stay home with the baby, Stephen goes to Tinley, and as time went on, I got more and more and more jealous. People would ask, are we going? Stephen would say that he was going, they'd be excited, they'd say, oh, we can't wait to meet you. People would invite us to like get drinks, get dinner, and I would get more jealous and more, I would wish I could go more and more. So then we talked about it again and I was like, I want to go to Tinley too. I don't want to stay home. I want to go too. Let's fly. We would need a travel bassinet. We would need her car seat. We would need enough diapers, enough wipes. I am breastfeeding, so we need a pump. I would need to be able to stop and pump or feed her. And the more we thought about it, the more it made sense to drive rather than to fly. So we called my sister, she's got a small SUV, and she agreed that driving was the right choice. And so that was the plan. Before this one was even born, we had planned on bringing her on a 12 to 13 hour car ride from Aiken, South Carolina to Tinley, Illinois.
So we leave in the morning of Thursday, before Tinley, all of that stuff, and we are driving up to Illinois from South Carolina. So this is about a 12, 13-ish hour drive, and as we're going up, we have our newborn baby with us. And really, she was awesome. She was super, super good throughout the whole trip. She did have one blowout, like towards the end, that was like really bad, probably the worst blowout that she's had so far. But overall, she was great. She was awesome driving, even though it was 12 to 13 hours in the car.
Do you want to talk about my shame, Stephen?
Well, we did just have to take out a small mortgage to get gas, but Cara wasn't recording all of my humor and jokes. Fired.
Oh no, I guess you guys are walking to Tinley.
Where are we at?
Tennessee.
The only
the
10.
only 10
Ah, I was
see.
gonna say it. We're in Tennessee. I think.
So I know this video isn't on how to travel with a newborn, but if you need any tips or advice, the advice is 3 adults to 1 infant. Because that's what we did, and boy did it work for us. My sister really, she carried. She pulled both of our weight because she drove way more than I did, and we made it to Columbia. We stopped between Edinburgh and Columbia in Indiana. We stopped around 8:30. We went and got a hotel room, set everything up in there, a little travel bassinet for her, plus all of our like bags and everything. And then we got dinner at a little place off the exit, and the exit was perfect. There was like a little strip mall, a couple of hotels and restaurants, and good food, good like amount of stuff to do, but it was so slow. There wasn't a ton of people, and that was really cool. So Thursday night we stop at the hotel, and the next morning we have the last 3 hours to Tinley, Illinois.
It is day 2 of our Tinley road trip.
Tinley.
We just got done at the hotel, where did we end up stopping at? Columbus, Edinburgh?
Between Columbus and Edinburgh.
Now we're going to Starbucks, and then we're going to finish up the last 3 hours for the Tinley drive. And then car's going to drop us off there at the convention center. We're going to go to the VIP day, and then we're going to get picked up at 3.
Sure you guys don't want to go to Starbucks?
It's up to you.
If you guys are cool with it.
What Starbucks looks like all the time. Have you ever been to a Starbucks?
No, I don't know if you know this about me, but actually I shouldn't say this on camera so they don't find out, but the roastery I work for would be mad.
Oh, if you went to Starbucks?
They wouldn't be mad. They would be disappointed.
Yeah,
which
what, are
is
you gonna go
worse.
to Eubora?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna put it in my Eubora cup though.
Is Eubora sponsoring this video?
Eubora is sponsoring this video.
So we actually get into Tinley on Friday, and Friday is like VIP access. It's where all of the vendors are setting up and kind of getting everything ready. And overall, there wasn't very many people there, but because all of the vendors were like setting everything up, it made it a little crowded because you'd be sitting there talking to somebody, and then somebody else would be like wheeling a cart through with a bunch of boxes, and it made it kind of feel like you were getting in the way. So it was a little hard to look at snakes, and it was a little hard to talk to people, but overall, really, really happy that we went. While we were there on Friday, and we're looking at all of the snakes that people have available, we noticed that there is a banana inchy calico yellow belly male at Bob Vu's table. And this is an animal that fits perfectly into 2 of our projects. So we're in the campfire project, which, just in case anybody isn't aware, that is inchy, cinnamon, or black pastel, and then calico or sugar. And it's like all 3 of those together make a campfire. And there's some really, really cool animals in the campfire project. Most notably, it is the bonfire, and it's our friend Troy from Balls and Strikes. His bonfire is what made us want to get into the project. So we see this animal, and we had produced last season a banana inchy calico hidden gene Woma male for the campfire project. But when we saw the banana inchy calico yellow belly male, we realized that this would actually serve the campfire project, and it would serve the freeway project because we don't currently have a yellow belly male. So we ended up deciding that, like, okay, we might get it, but we're gonna wait. We're gonna hold off just in case there's something else that comes across, like I don't know. We come across something that fits even better, and that we do that. So we didn't get the snake, and we go on throughout the day, we look at all the animals, and we end up leaving.
Friday night, my sister is an absolute angel and watches the kids for us while we go to dinner with some friends. They were friends from South Carolina, which is kind of funny that we drove all the way from South Carolina to Chicago, and we hung out with the people who lived an hour from us. But we had a really good time with them, and we saw a lot of people out while we were there. We saw a lot of other vendors and breeders, and just, you know, people in the reptile world. They were all at the same hotel bar, so it was cool to see a lot of people. We really enjoyed going out for drinks and just kind of talking about the show. We found out that a boy we had been interested in from Bob Vu's table, again, we drove from South Carolina to Chicago to be interested in a snake that we from somebody whose place we were at a couple weeks ago. I digress. We found out that she had actually purchased him. So we were a little disappointed, but at the same time, it was our motto for every show, we're not here to buy a snake, made that more possible, more likely to happen. Saturday, the show opened for the passes we bought started at 7:30 with a new baby and a 6-year-old. It was not gonna happen that we would get there at 7:30 in the morning, but we got up around 7 and we started getting everyone ready to go to the show. And then Steve and I and the kids, we got there probably about 8. And when we got there, it was already pretty packed. It wasn't open to like general admission yet, it was just VIP, but it was absolutely like packed. We immediately ran into Miranda from Blue Jar Pythons, and we got to meet Miranda and Angie from jar pythons and blue jar pythons. We met Celtic balls and primal scales right away. They were all so nice. The only bad thing is that there's nowhere to stop and chat in the show. You have to like stand in front of people's tables or like try to wedge yourself out of the way, but there's no such thing as out of the way when the show is as busy as it was. So we didn't get to talk as much as I think I would have liked to, but it was really cool to meet a lot of people that we've only talked to through the internet. After meeting them, we met Gershon at GP. He was awesome, and Josh and Jace from Gen Z Reptiles. I think those were the people we met in the morning before the show opened for everyone, and everyone was, again, so nice. It is just, I can't tell you how cool it is to meet people through social media that have a similar interest in you, and really only one similar interest as far as you know, and how well you can get along with people. Just from that little bit of interaction.
We had our 6-year-old, I'm forgetting how old he is, with us now, and we have a baby. So both of them were amazing throughout the show. But when you have like Tinley level crowds at the NARBC, and a 6-year-old that you're trying to corral and make sure that they're not getting in people's way and not touching people's display with their grimy little 6-year-old kid fingers. We love him, but he has grimy little kid fingers. So when trying to do all of this stuff, it makes it really hard to record a video. It makes it really hard to talk to people. It makes it really hard to look at snakes.
I think my favorite like booth, I guess you'd say, was my favorite table was Tom Harbin, and he had really awesome animals. There was like one acid combo that was super impressive. But I didn't take pictures, so I don't remember exactly the morphs that were in it. But again, his table was super cool. But what made his, the experience of walking by his table so awesome to me was how nice of a guy he was and how like forward with information he was. So we were just casually walking by and he said hey to us, asked us if we were looking for anything specific kind of deal, and we told him no, we were just looking. But we asked about the liners in his display case because he had his logo printed on them, and they looked like they were made of the absorbent material. And we asked where he got them printed, and he told us his house, and that he just did it on his own printer. And I was like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. I thought you had to like order them. And he told us, yeah, that he printed on the Reptile liner, and he told us where he got it and how he did it, and that was so cool because we wanted to do it before, but we didn't know how to get the right dimensions. We didn't know how to get it on the liner. We only knew how to get it on like paper, which is an absorbent if a snake defecates in the display case. So he told us how he did that, and then while we were chatting, we mentioned that we already have some Reptizorb liners, but we prefer the coconut husk, and again, just gave the best advice ever. It's like, oh, I actually put the liners under my coconut husk. Do you know how much easier that's gonna be to clean? So much easier. When we do our big clean outs, it's gonna make, like, it's gonna save some time. It won't save money, but we already have the liners. So we don't have to buy more of them. Perfect. So we had lunch with, it was Lyons Exotics, Lyons Exotics. They sat at the same table as us because you know how the concessions are. They just have these gigantic tables and you sit with strangers, and we got to meet them. They were super nice. Again, it was just such easy, casual conversation. Really enjoyed that. And then we met Dylan and Bethany. They came up to us and were just so super sweet, let us know that they really enjoyed the YouTube channel, and God, that was just the coolest thing for people to let us know that they enjoy the videos, because I know everyone is super kind in the comments. A lot of people give us like really positive feedback, but for someone to just like make a point to tell us that they enjoy the videos was, it made us feel so good. It made us so happy. So if you guys are watching, we really appreciate you. You made our day.
As we are continuing on through the show, Courtney, Wyatt, and Ellie, it's a lot. It is a lot walking around and being on your feet all day, and they decided that they wanted to go back to the hotel and rest. And I chose to stay there because I wanted to, A, get some B-roll for this video, and it's gonna be all of the stuff that we showed during this, as well as just hang out and talk to some people, because I wasn't really tired, but it's way easier to talk to people when you don't have to corral a 6-year-old.
Oh, that's so cool. It's so dark, too.
Yeah. You gotta watch the belly, too.
Oh, that's freaking wild.
That's the coolest part.
Wild. That's so cool. So where did IMG come from? Was it an import? Was it something that...
It was a dinker gene that we had floating around in our...
Probably my favorite part of the entire show was Saturday night. We went to dinner with Kevin and Brock and Winston and so many other people, really like kind of tied to the Sunset Project, and it was absolutely amazing. We met Justin from Morph Jungle, we met Ryan from Captive Bred Specialties, and so many other people. And it was such a good time, and everybody was so welcoming. Another thing that I like so much about the Sunset Project is how tight-knit it is, and just how welcoming and open everybody was to us, because it was the first time that we had met so many different people. So if you guys are looking for the Sunset Project, we're gonna link a bunch of different people down below, because we don't have any animals right now. But one cool thing about it is, as we got back from Tinley, our clown female, who's been paired to our sunset male, is at 44mm follicles, and we are so freaking excited. She is definitely going to be our first sunset clutch of the season. She might be our second clutch laid this season overall. But we are stoked for it. And again, if you guys are looking into the Sunset Project, definitely check these guys out. And one more shout out to Troy from Balls and Stripes, because he bought his first sunset animal. He got a fire sunset female that I'm so freaking jealous about.
I know what everyone really wants to know, and that's the animals we picked up this weekend. So our pickups. The first pickup was a Super Mystic Super Pastel. She's actually probably a Super Pastel. She was sold to us as a Super Mystic Pastel, probable Super Pastel. I think she's Super Pastel because I've seen Super Mystic Pastels, and we'll find out. We'll prove it out, I'm sure. So we actually purchased her back in, I believe, December or January. We purchased her from Royal Constrictor Designs, and she is already like 900 grams. I think she's already 1,000 grams. And we got her specifically to pair to our boy Louie, who is a Butter Mojave. Right now he only has one female that he gets paired to, and they produce blue-eyed leucistics, mystic potions, and combinations of butter, pastel, Mojave, pastel, anything, because he's allelic. All of his offspring have butter or Mojave, and because she has she's a super pastel, all of her offspring are pastel, but any of her offspring that get that mystic are either the mystic potion or the blue-eyed leucistic. So we got a super mystic this time, so that all of their offspring will be either will either be blue-eyed leucistics or mystic potions. So we're really excited about that, because you know, everybody loves those except you don't. Yeah, so everybody loves that bell clutch. Everybody loves the mystic potions. We sold out of them so fast last year, and we had so many more people who asked after them that I wanted to produce a second clutch of them. So next year she should be up to size, if not definitely the year after that, which is very convenient because we give our girls every so many years off. So that'll be Sarabi's year off, and it'll be nice to still have that clutch of that bell clutch. But so that's why we purchased her. We purchased her in the past, so she was not a Tinley purchase, but she was a Tinley pickup. Friday night when we were talking to our friends, Jay and Liz, they had found some albino clowns for sale for like way less than market price. And at first we're like, are you sure they're albino clowns for that price? And we looked, and it's not, they're visuals. It's not like you can fake an albino clown. So they said that they wanted, there were 3 albino clowns. They wanted 2 of them, and they said that they'd get there early in the morning and they'd pick up the 3rd for us. So we didn't purchase her. Our friends did, and we actually traded them for an animal that we had that was the same, the same value. So they had a boy of ours on a breeder loan that they asked if they could actually keep because we were looking to sell him. They asked if they could purchase him from us. So what we did is we traded for that animal. So we got an albino clown female, and she is very pretty. She's in shed right now. So her colors aren't as like distinct. Albino clowns are kind of hard to see because it's the white that is the clown pattern rather than the yellow. So again, they're very pretty animals, but it's a little hard to see. We got her because we recently actually bought into a new project because we're terrible. We recently got really excited about a new gene that we saw on Instagram. Wally BPM Reptiles, I believe is his Instagram handle, posted several pictures of Nyala clowns that we were super excited about, super interested in. So we reached out and we talked to, it's Bushville Reptiles up in Rhode Island. They import the snakes in for him, and we purchased a couple animals, some het clown females and a clown male who will be imported in May. So we don't have him yet, and we are so excited to show him off once we do. But he is going to be her first pairing. So Nyala is a darker gene. It's like Stranger or Mahogany. It's I'm not gonna say it's in the same complex, but it is very similar to those. So it's not recessive, meaning when we pair him to her, she'll produce like het albinos, but they'll have visual clowns, and they, you know, half the offspring should have that Nyala gene. So we're really excited about the potential of the albino and Nyala, and also a Nyala albino clown. So that's going to be her first pairing, and we're super excited about that. We're super excited about the Nyala project, but we'll talk about that in a later video. In addition, we want to get Toffee into her, so Toffee het clown or Candy het clown to make Toffino clowns, as well as getting other dark genes into her. So her second pairing, the second year we pair her, she will be going to a Cinnamon Mojave GHI male. So working all those darker genes into that albino clown is something we are we're excited about that. So again, another Tinley pickup, but not a purchase. She was a trade. So we only made one Tinley purchase, and she was not it. So who was our actual Tinley purchase? Steven talked about earlier that we found a banana calico Enchi yellow belly male at Bob Vu's table, and that we did not pull the trigger on him fast enough, and our dear friend Beth stole him from under it. No, I'm just kidding. Our friend actually picked him up before we did, and we were kind of resigned about it. But when we were walking through, on Saturday morning, we passed Slither Reptiles, and they had the same exact combo. They look a little different, obviously, because there's polymorphism, but he is beautiful. He's absolutely stunning, and it was a sign. We had to get him. How could we possibly pass him up? So we do have a male with very similar genes that we are kind of replacing with him, and for a couple different reasons. But so the plan for him is to pair him to our Cinnamon Enchi female this next year. Right now she's being paired to a female maker Banana OD Enchi Asphalt boy, and we're really excited about that pairing as well. But we're even more excited about the Calico Banana Enchi yellow belly male, because they have the potential of making bonfires. Cinnamon and Enchi are allelic, so all of her offspring will have either Cinnamon or Enchi in them, and we're hoping to add Cinnamon in list of genes. So if we were to get an all gene animal from him plus the cinnamon from her, it would make a yellow belly bonfire. And the bonfires are really gorgeous. They're part of the campfire project. And bonfire is campfire plus banana. So cinnamon enchi calico is also a group of genes that we would be thrilled to get. But yeah, so he is absolutely stunning. He's beautiful. We named him Alabaster because the girl we're pairing him to, her name is Demaya, and she's named after a character from a series of books, the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. And her, I wouldn't say love interest, but her partner throughout part of the book, his name is Alabaster. So we had to do it. we had to complete their naming group. But we did post a little poll on Instagram for people to vote for the name, and Alabaster also won, so had to do it again. We had such a good time at the show. We met so many awesome people, and it really made us excited for the next NARBC show, is really what it did. It made us excited to go back. So hopefully next time we will fly, because I did not enjoy that long drive, and neither did she. She was good, but she hates her car seat.
We cannot wait for the next big show. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Daytona for us. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time.